how to navigate as a identified divested black woman on the money frequency, on the wealth frequency, on the high vibing frequency. I'm going to tell you something. Now, you are a divested black woman who divestment is how you want to do it. If you are hardcore, savage, as the word would be, um, okay, hardcore savage, as the word will be, divested black woman, you don't fuck with nothing nigga black, nothing hard or nothing. Okay. Okay. Um, that's just how you roll. Okay. Now that's your frequency. And that's just how you roll. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've been there. Okay, I've been there. Um, I've been there of not wanting to deal with the Knicks, right? And I still have my time. I don't want to deal with the Knicks. Okay. I have been there where I don't want to even see the Knicks. Okay. But it depends on to me what kind of lifestyle you're taking on. It depends on to me what kind of walk you are walking, right? Right? Okay. Now, what am I saying here? There's some of us who we are living a lifestyle where it's not where we can just do that. Okay. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that kind of luxury. Okay. We don't have the luxury of how do I say this? We don't have the luxury of, hey, I can only work with non black people. And this is a topic that many do not touch. Okay. That grass smells like grass coming right through my window. And my window's not even open. That's crazy. We don't have the luxury of how do I say this? I can only have a non-black cast on whatever I'm creating, or I only have non-black people that I'm working with on this project. We don't have that luxury. And is it a luxury? Maybe it is. Maybe not. Okay. But whatever it may be, let me just say this. You can still do divestment how you want to do divestment. I see you all the time. Okay. If you come up here, please let it be about the topic. I don't have time for foolishness. I'm talking about something serious. This is front porch chats. Okay. Don't got time. And so a lot of us can choose a life of working with non-black, right? We can choose a life of associating with non-black. But there's something that I need to bring up that I think that the divested black woman tends to not pay attention to. I can't speak for them, but this is what I see, and this is because of what I hear. Number one, I'm a black woman from the city, okay? And so being a black woman from the city, the big apple, I'm around multiple cultures. Any black woman from the inner city is experiencing multicultural people, meaning they're experiencing from black to non-black people all over the globe. We know about black Scottish people. We know about black people who are Asian. We know about a lot of things about black people with darker skin that live and reside in these different cultures and countries and what they're. We are aware of these things. Now, I've never caught a black Australian yet, but other than that, I've seen it. Now, we also know about interracial dating. We also know and see what we see the level of the American black woman's interracial dating versus the African woman's interracial dating, right? The African woman's interracial dating is going to learn about 5 languages. The Black American interracial dating, depending on if she may be from the inner city or her background, she will learn multiple languages too as she dates outside her race and go to school in those countries and this, that, and the third. She learns from the black immigrants, the formula, that the blueprint. Okay. Now, what am I getting at here? A lot of people in their cultures do not consider black people unless black people are already in their culture. A lot of people in their culture do not consider black people unless black people already mixed inside of their culture. That Japanese is not going to consider nobody black unless somebody black is already mixed in that family. You see what I'm saying? Or there's some kind of mixture of blackness there that's in their face. I've noticed that. Otherwise, if there's no blackness there, they don't want them there. Now, I'm under the impression that black women are not stupid. Okay? Black women are not stupid. And I say this because I watch my own children and I watch family members who date interracially, but I've noticed that they'll date someone who's like black and Puerto Rican and Puerto Rican and black or whatever. And then the mom is Japanese or the Salvadorian, Guatemala. I always notice these things. Okay? All these different things that I have come to notice. Okay? So, sit here and be like, oh, non-black this and the non-black life and your children non-black. How is that possible? Right? How is that possible? How? How is that possible? I mean, for real, if it's tell me right now, if it's possible, tell me how. There are black women who are divested black women, and I'm just like, you're not even likable, bitch. You're not even likable in the circle of people that you go around. Do you hear yourself? You're nasty. You're fucking nasty. I've seen that. I've seen people thing too. I don't believe a lot of these divested black women are beautiful. The exotical ones are. They are. Because even when they try to expose Exotical United, she's gorgeous. Okay, she has a long face. We and her have very similar features. The thick, long hair is curlier than mine. Just very beautiful. But these other divested women, they're not attractive at all. And I had told y'all umpteen times before Exoticals even came out. I said, I remember the women who talked about interracial dating was already mixed. And they were saying, let's have more mixed babies. And more of our babies should be mixed. That was the interracially mixed women. Okay? Those are the ones that I saw doing that. This is a whole new breed of divested black women. These women are damn near the triple K, dark skinned triple K women. Another thing, I also noticed that the extremity of racism and hate towards blackness. I sit here and I listen, right? I listen, and I have to agree. Shout out to you, Cuzzo. You know who you are. I have to agree with one thing that her mother was saying. Her mother was like, a lot of these black women are still fucking black men, right? But I say it in another way from what her intuition is picking up. A lot of them are claiming interracially dating, but they're still dating Hispanic and Latin, which is still niggas, right? They're not getting French. They're not getting, you know, François. They're not getting the François. They're not getting the what's the French greeting? Yeah. They're not getting the Paris. They're not getting you know what I mean? They're not getting the Russian. They're not getting the Italian, not the American Italian, the Italian, you know? They're not getting them, not getting the Sicilian. They're not getting, do you get what I'm saying? They're not getting them. Because they can't get them. Do you understand that in order to have this life, right? Like to really have this lifestyle, right? In order to truly live this out in the way that these women believe that they can live it out. Do you know that it's going to take that you have to energetically, because a lot of them are not spiritual, you have to energetically already be there. Okay? You have to energetically be there. What do I mean by energetically be there? You had to already energetically live the life around non-black people, non-black friends. You had to energetically live a life of going to non-black spaces, interaction with the people that were there. You have to have energetically not only experience just quote unquote for those of you who like the opposite sex, but you have to experience the same sex as well, the women in the culture. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You have to experience them too. And what I mean by women in the culture is I'm talking about as far as friendships, a friend circle of people, going to school together, being at each other's house, friendship, working together. Now, may I tell my story? Because I have them, right? Let me check my scale. I know I done gained weight. 1 second, y'all, before I get to my story. Yeah, back to 170. It says 171, but it's okay. I'm gonna go back down. I already knew that. I said it. I called it out. I was like, I'm gonna end up gaining about 2 pounds eating over here. And that's exactly what I got. I got what I said, right? Okay. So now, should have just ate that salad. Should have ate the salad. He said it. He said, we got salad. You can have the salad. And when we eat out, you can't have it. But nope. I had to go eat the vegetable damn pizza. The all vegetable pizza. Okay. Let's go. Let's get focused here. Let's get focused here. All right. So, when I met the woman who I started the band with, when we were young, I love it. When I met her, she was not a full Becky. She was full of police shit and nigga shit. Then she met another retarded white woman who was into kink and shit. That was her whole fucking identity and shit. Was into kink. Just just a troubled person, mentally troubled person. Okay. Then what happened is we got into it over some dumb shit, right? I don't even think about it no more, but now I thought about it over some dumb shit, right? But what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. What happened is I noticed that excuse me. She wanted the mammy bitch to subscribe to the bullshit. You know, being a single mother, how she had this baby. She wanted someone to subscribe to the bullshit of the choices that she was making with this nigga. He even tried to manipulate as if I wanted this nigga. No, bam, no, sir. No, thank you. No, no, no at all. No, not even thank you. No, 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 no. No, fuck you. Okay. And at that moment, I remember telling her, this is your mother's fault. Everybody's like, you better than me, this, that, and the third. It's like, nah, this her mother's fault. It's nothing I could do about this. It's her mother's fault. Everything about this girl, all the choices she making, the way she think, the way her life is, this is her mama's fault. I have my own daughter to care about. I do. I have my own daughter to care about and teach. All right. So that's where you have to be careful too. Because these type of experiences will happen to you. Not to you. They will happen on your path if you're not careful. So this is why I say, as a divested Black woman, there is so much you're going to have to pick up on if you're going to live a life of completely non-Black people around you. You have to make sure you're not in the presence of a Beckisha. I promise you, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't have seen no. That was not a Beckisha. But you got to make sure you're not in the presence of her. But other ass, I'm not going to say that, but still. And this person talked cash shit about me. Her little new boyfriend, because they all poly. Her other new boyfriend came in my inbox, wanting to talk to me about her, and I listened, and I didn't even care because I know my words reign true. Okay, that if you know what you're speaking is the truth, you don't give a fuck about what nobody got to say about you, a narcissist, this, that, and the third. Like, all right, I'll be all that. I'll be all that, right? Now, what am I getting at? The level of vigilance you're gonna have to have. The level of vigilance you're gonna have when taking on this path is crucial. Okay, especially for those of you who want to deal with non-black people. I ask myself sometimes, what do these black people look like? Right? Ask myself this. What do these black people look like? These divested black people look like, right? Uh we are aware of their lifestyles. We know that a lot of them are in one of them, I've never heard where she's at, in the medical field. Some of them travel often and they don't have to do shit. I heard one divested woman say that. I've heard a divested woman get her boobs done and shit. I want to find that one again. Uh, I've heard it all with the divested, but the ones that stand and reign supreme are the ones that's in the medical field. Now, my understanding and my perception of what I've seen with people in medical field, they're very, very practical people. Very practical. I've never met somebody who's in the medical field that's a gamer, someone who in the medical field, I never heard them do anything creative and fun. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the energy of what it is. I get it. I don't never see that. So I am in a different field of work, in a different field of people. And I know how to deal with people accordingly. Everything is energy as well. Um, everything is energy as well. Is it highly possible that you'll be around black people and you're dealing with more toxicity and more toxic shit? Absolutely. They are very, anybody can be toxic. If you want me to keep it a buck, human beings are toxic, human beings are draining, human beings are vampiric. Okay. If you want to get technical as well, um know that it also comes to the fact that uh not just human beings, but it's like you have to look at yourself as well. You have to look in that mirror. Okay? Because everything is not other people. Other people are just mirrors of ourselves. Even the ridiculous ones, they're mirrors of us, whether we want to accept that reality or not, right? And so I realized that, oh, excuse me, these people don't really get out. Okay, these divested black women, people, they don't really get out. Okay, they don't really know how to, what's the word, they don't really have to interact and navigate with people, right? They don't have to, because they've isolated themselves from them. I also figured out something else. A lot of these divestors don't know life. For example, they don't understand how women in these major inner cities, we complain, right? We complain about living in these major inner cities. And she's like, I don't understand how y'all complain, but y'all do not leave, right? And I was just like, well, you don't live here to understand. People have family, right? People have careers that benefit them or lifestyles that benefit them. People have a lot of things, multiple, a lot of people can't live in other places so easily outside of where they live when you live in the inner city, because you have such of a life of luxury that right there. You get what I'm saying? All of these different type of things. And so this is how I know these people don't really get out, because there's some things that I know that they do not understand. Um the homophobia. I don't like to use that word, but I have to say it. There's extreme homophobia and male centeredness and laughing at decentering men. There's an extreme talk of downplaying women, saying that they're weak and this, that, and the third, and they need men and this, that, and the third, coming from this kind of 19s, uh, yeah, 1950s way of mindset. Okay, and we're not here. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn Trump being in office for the next 3 to 4 years. Whatever more years they think this man's going to be here, if even alive. That's not going to change. We have quantum leaps. I don't give a damn if you believe it or not. I don't give a fuck. We are quantum leaping, whether people realize it or not. Women are running businesses and making money and marrying smarter, with the same, opposite, whatever, or her damn self. Okay, if she can really save her money. We are in a time where technology is advancing, and a lot of us are living our lives to how do I take advantage of this advanced technology, and what can I do with my life in this advanced technology? Okay. Okay, white men with all the power, poor brown people are the problem with this country. Those in power are the ones who scare me. And so this is the thing that I'm seeing the most. They're not with these time. Okay. All right. I also noticed, oh, I was gonna add her, but she got all this stuff on here. I don't want this stuff on my. I don't want this shit on my. What's the name? I also noticed that. Oh, help me out here in the chat room. There's just this out of touch way of life that they all have. Okay. There's just this out of touch way of understanding that it's just getting to the point of things are changing and shifting with reason. And you have to operate around with these shifts and changes. Whether people want to accept that reality or not, it's a reality. Yes, why would this Kurt guy be taken down by the universe? Why did that happen so suddenly and by his own? Because it was all symbolic of not just you reap what you sow, but it's also what kind of frequency we are in quantum leaping. I said yesterday, I'm going to gain about 5 pounds, 2 pounds in this house eating this food. And that's exactly what happened to me. Y'all know how far down my weight was. And when I was there, I was like, this scale ain't right. Okay. I was like, that's a brand new scale. How is it not right? Well, how did that happen to me? Because I manifested that. I said it. I said I'm going to gain it. And that's what I did. Now I'm back to 171. I was 165. Now I'm back to 171. So I have to put back into the work with the drinking the water, sipping the tea, whatever I got to do to get the weight back down. And that was on me because I didn't have to eat that food. I could have just ate a salad. I could have just, my dad's a chef. I could have been like, hey, I just want a nice special salad. Can you make me a salad? And I promise you, he would have made me a big ass special bowl of a salad. Okay? He would have did that for me if I would have just asked. See that? So that was a choice. Now, am I mad about it? No, because I can. Yeah, I don't feel heavy. You see what I'm saying? My body don't feel heavy. I don't feel, I don't have my thighs rubbing together, nothing like that. There's nothing like that going down. It's just, I just need to go ahead, pick it back up again, get my rhythm back up again, and I'm good, right? Okay. Now, another thing. This happened not because, and why did people respond the way that they did? It wasn't out of people being hateful. It wasn't out of people being mean. It was out of you reap what you sow. It was out of we're not going to say rest in peace to you when you did this. Now I know what I said on my show and how I scolded a lot of black women for even talking. I know I did. I do understand. I'm very very spiritual. I don't have to say that. I get it. I get universal laws, signs, symbols. I know how this shit work. And so therefore this is what it was symbolic of, to tell everybody we are quantum leaping. So when you ride the money frequency, the wealth frequency, you're going to ride that bitch faster than what you think you are. When you sit out here and you begin to develop talking to yourself more kind and develop how to manifest more money, you're moving faster than what you are moving. When someone says they don't got no money and this, that, and the third, and they talking like that, your energy repels that, just instantly rebukes that energy. Like, not over here. I'm good. My money good. Okay. This is the things that are going to start rolling and happening and being in the rhythm of your life. And this is why we have these signs. And see, there's no excuse to be ignorant. That's another thing that I have come to realize the more and more I ride this wave. Is my microphone on? There is no excuse to be ignorant at this point in life, y'all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Can y'all hear me? There's no excuse to be ignorant. All right. There's no excuse to not be able to go to Google and research, not be able to go see a local library and research, as well as Google's library or any library online to research. There's no excuse not to go to Reddit and go to a certain platform and write to each other and learn shit together and research. There's no excuse. Any question that you can ask anybody out here is a question that you can find. That's what the quantum leap in frequency is all about. You say, what is African American culture? You can clearly go get a book that says, what is African American culture as the title, or this is African American culture, or African American culture. I guarantee you, just that fast. You don't need to ask nobody who's Haitian American that question. She gonna say hip hop. That's it, hip hop. Oh my gosh, why didn't you just pick up a book? So there's no reason to be ignorant anymore. All right? There's no reason to lie to yourself anymore. These people are going to get left behind. Clearly, we see people are going to be, like before, working from home. Some people are still doing it. We clearly see that there's going to be jobs that's going to be taken over by robots. Some of us are very happy about that. We clearly see that there's going to be more things you're going to have to educate yourself with, or you're going to have to work your 9 to 5 and work a business on the side, a business or multiple, multiple streams of income and passive income. You're going to have to take your time doing that. Clearly see that some people will have to downsize from their living, their life living, the way that they live. They're the downsize. There's some people who said in the real estate market that these houses ain't even worth it. Clearly, these things are right there in our faces, telling us what things are. And either there's people paying attention to it, and there's people that's not paying attention to it. And the people who are not paying attention to it are the people who are going to suffer in it. Right? Now, another thing that I think is ultimately key in all of these things, what you put out there that you disdain or you hate is the very thing that you're going to get more of. And I find it interesting that when I listen to these divested women talk, it sounds to me like most of their job life is around niggas. Am I bugging for saying that? Some of them have just said, fuck it. I just left. I just decided to just get completely away from them. Don't have to work with them. They're not my clients. I don't have to deal with them, right? But then some of them, I listen to them and it's like their whole life is avoiding them. So are you all following this front porch chat? Are you all getting what I'm putting down? Are you all getting it? It's whether you believe in it or not, it's going to happen. And it is happening. I sat here and I listened for a long time. Even played divestors in front of people who even offended them what was going on, right? That they were saying. I even myself have been on their panels. I don't deny this stuff, all this stuff. And then as I've grown, I'm like, this shit is fucking immature. Who's really living this way? You understand? This shit is, where do these people live at? Where are they located? How are they living life? Where have they been? Who have they known? See how like these things start to quite questioning this. When you sit here, right, and you listen to this stuff, right? When you really listen to it, you have to pose the question to yourself, are these people for real? That's the first thing you have to ask, right? But then as the time go on, you realize how childish and very messy it all is. Now, for myself, right? Uh I make this a very, very teaching platform. Not trying to tell you how to live your life, just a teaching platform. Whatever I learn, I share it all with you. And for me, in order for me to learn it more, I teach it all to you, right? We read it together, right? I've been doing this for years. I keep this platform as neutral as I can keep it. If anyone has noticed that. Now, do you have people, hold on, my mute button again, y'all. Do you have people who come here divisive? Do you have people who come here and they try to bring up the black man conversation, women dating them conversation? Yes. I know the things I've talked about. I've been doing this shit since the age of 23 years old, y'all. Okay. I'm 41 now. It's just, I don't, trust me. I remember a lot of things I talked about here. And do we have all of these people who bring that? But I'm still going to bring that spiritual perspective of many things, no matter what I talk about. After a certain age, it should not just be, I can't say what it shouldn't be, but I'm just going to say, I would think that a woman will understand, despite how she feels about black males, right? I would think that a woman will understand, hey, I understand why there are some black women who do not leave them. Because what I'm noticing is this is why I'm going here, right? There's a major attack on Riri, right? For being with ASAP. There's a major attack on ASAP, right? A lot of people are pissed off because they're putting their religious views and they feel like, well, why is he not married to her? Whoever thought maybe Rihanna doesn't want to marry him? Like nobody thinks about that, but okay. There's attacking of how she physically looks because she had all them boys, so that's going to mess up. That's going to tear down her looks anyway, unfortunately, and all them babies and stuff. They're attacking that she's ghetto and this, that, and the third, and all this type of shit. All right, there's all this attacking, and I'm like, okay. Then there is constant attacking of male sexuality or anybody's sexuality, but they hone in on the male sexuality. And I'm just like, well, in the world of frequency that I'm in, you know what I'm saying, in the lifestyle that I have, the very rich, high value men of other races or interracial dating is through men, right? And men. And so it's like, okay, what world do these people live in? But okay. So these people are trying to have this conservative way of what they're trying to push the black woman to be, right? And if you're not this conservative black woman, maybe you're just more free spirited or whatever have you, sexually fluid or whatever have you, you can't come over there with them. And then it begins to make you wonder, right? And this is why I'm glad the exoticals came out, because the exoticals are very smart. Whoever first started it is smart. And they probably had to say, these women are probably thinking that we're behind those microphones. You know what I'm saying? They probably was like, these women think we're behind these microphones because I know this is what they're asking, because even we're asking this. We need to let them know we're not behind these microphones and this is how we think. We need to let them know that we understand that we have pretty privilege and we know what to do with our pretty privilege as exotical black women. We understand that we are the product of the divested black women, because the divested black woman would be our mothers. So the exoticals brought a more intellectual perspective to the panel, to the story. And they also, I've heard one say, I do believe in Black excellence. My parents are Black excellence. What are you talking about? See what I'm saying? So there's these, and then there was different. There was brown skin exoticals. See what I'm saying? Dark skin exoticals. There's all kind of exoticals that have popped out of the woodwork. And I'm like, that's what's up. And you can listen to the way that they talk. You can hear where they have been. You can hear the friendships. You can see who they have dated. And you hear how they say, nah, this is my life of having pretty privilege versus a life of social stacking and this, that, and the third that they all talk about versus what it is now. This is what these people talk about. This is what these women talk about, right? And so, what am I getting at with this? I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm getting at with this. I understand that a lot of people are not going to show their faces. Not going to show their faces, okay? I understand a lot of people are not going to how do I say this to y'all? 1 second for the headphone users. 1 second. If my fucking shit will mute. I understand a lot of people, it's going to mute while I'm talking until it mutes, are not going to ever let you know what the fuck they look like. And those Black divested spaces, they're not going to ever let you know what they look like, right? And that's for reasons. I don't think that everybody needs to see what everybody looks like who's talking, because you're talking and you're making a point. I mean, there was times we didn't know who was behind the radio anyway, right? For a long time. But you're talking. Okay? And because you're talking, you're making a point behind what you're saying. The reason the Black divestors got attacked in a way where people was trying to dox them, mainly the main divested one, was because of the hate speech. Okay? It was because of the hate speech. What you have to understand is these women are not spiritual. They don't understand laws of attraction, quantum leap, and they don't understand none of that stuff. They don't understand astrology and all this kind of stuff. They don't make a mockery of stuff like this. All of that stuff is mammy stuff. All that shit is mammy stuff. And it makes sense that the head honcho lady is an atheist because spirituality, religion, and all that stuff is associated with niggas, as they call us. But here's the thing about everything with the Black divestors. That's the bigger picture that we all must see. They don't understand why these Black women who attract these experiences that they experience do. They don't see that these Black women dating these white men is not the problem to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the problem. Because why are you attracted to men who are dating Black women? Something deep is going on with you, Taylor Swift, that you're dating men who are dating black women, especially those of you who've been listening to Taylor Swift's music and her songwriting style. She's been adding hip hop as her way of doing her lyrics. Okay, even her beats have changed. This is Taylor Swift. Another thing, they don't get how to dissect that. Because why would Taylor Swift be with a busted white man that she runs and marries, and then you tell the black woman, well, you don't have no requirements when you're dating somebody? Can't really say that because I know a lot of black women who did not play and want to be married. After a certain time, she's like wringing his motherfucking arm behind his back for him to marry her. I know a lot of black women who did that. Okay. Then for you to sit here and be like, well, da 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 da, it still doesn't matter, because that black woman still has to do that. The woman Taylor Swift who's running to marry this man knowing he's with a black woman, are y'all not seeing that this bitch is a bit spiteful? As if you don't understand how women play. It'll be a matter of time before that'll be over between her and that guy. Okay? Mark my words. It'll be over between her and that guy. Just like it's gonna be over between Selena Gomez and that dude she just married. It'll be over between them two. Yeah. Another thing, you have to divest and live life in your own ways of divestment. Can't listen to somebody else's divestment. Number one, you may be prettier than everyone on that panel, that your life is not even the same life experience to do divestment their way. See what I'm saying? You may have just a different lifestyle in general, that you may be like, okay, I see these degenerate as gay males, but the ones around me don't behave like this. Okay, like they have standards, they have a lifestyle, they're very clean, they're fashion designers, they're writers, they're good directors, right? They handle the lighting on the set. You understand what I'm saying? They are personal assistants to the writer, or whatever in a writer's room, whatever your life experience may be, because that is the frequency of life that you are on. You can't speak from their frequency of life. You have to walk around here and make sure you have to separate yourself from other black people and all this kind of shit. I really would say that sucks to be you. I do. I don't not wear a bonnet at work anymore, even though we get to cover our head over the bonnet, because I want to separate myself from the black woman at the job. No, I've changed my look, and therefore I don't put the bonnet on my head anymore. My bonnet is only when I go to bed at night and stay in my house. That was a choice. When I sit here and I iron my clothes and I wear them a certain way at work, it's not because I'm trying to separate myself from the people at my job, or the women at my job, or whoever, or the black people at my job. I'm just ironing my clothes. Trust me, I see the people at work, one person at work that separates herself from the black people at the job, and her ass got thrown under the bus by one of her little closest besties. Threw her under the bus. Like, oh, I can't trust you. What makes you think if you dislike me, another black woman, and you're his friend, and you like this, and he hears what you have to say about another black woman, what makes you think he's gonna respect you as a black woman as his friend? Oh, because you what? Because you're a foreign black, and that makes you special? Not to them. You ain't special. You ain't different. So it's that type of shit that go on. I don't want y'all divestors. That's not what I'm making a point to say. I'm making a point to say to you, as you navigate this life, navigate it your way. I understand why the person I would listen to them with will get frustrated. She would get very frustrated with them. She hated when they talked about, eating ass and stuff like that, in a sense of the way they talked about sex and this, that, the third. And she's just like, we are grown. If people are eating ass and we are grown, what the fuck is the problem? That used to just irritate her. And she just would never want to hear what they have to say. And I can understand it because all of it is very childish. You know what I'm saying? It's very childish. Also, I also recognize that to walk around here in life in this white supremacist world and act as if there is no racism, there's no caste system, there's no colorism is insane to me. Okay? Like to act like it doesn't exist as if it's insane to me, right? Who who's this? Hold on, y'all. I know y'all heard that. It's probably my group chat. Why did that one beep instead though? That's what I don't be getting. I'll be having like three Facebooks up and then like one significant one will beep. Okay, I knew it was the group chat. Only see one. Mm-hmm. Oh shit. I didn't even respond. I had made a comment. I'll look at it later. I'm saying to you all that when you're walking out here, okay, let me take it back to things I've always told you about people online. People online do not have proper social skills. Okay? They don't know how to socialize with people in the world. Okay? They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to read a room, you know? So they will be inappropriately dressed. They will be inappropriately saying things. They will not blend in the room because they don't know how to even carry themselves in the right way in the room. Um, all these different things. And so when you're listening to people online, if you listen to them close enough, you can tell that these are people who are online people. They don't talk to people. They're probably scary. They probably are, they probably don't even, they're probably their whole lives is being online, if not most of their lives, because there's people that are like that. Uh, when you listen to these people, I can hear somebody who actually gets out when I listen to people. I could say, this person actually gets out. This person actually uh, goes outside, right? This person actually reads books, and I can pick that up, but it's only a tiny bit out of the bunch that I can see that with. It's usually one or maybe one and a half of a person in that circle that I see that with. But that same person that I pick up that with will be the same person to leave. Because all of that stuff teaches hate. It's no different. It's a black woman's triple K. That's exactly what the black divested woman is. She's a black woman triple K. She's no different than what Dave Chappelle was as the blind racist. You know what I'm saying? Like let's call it what it is. Right? Let's call it what it is. And then from that there, what do we have? We have uh, a situation of people who are out of touch. They're out of touch. I get it. You trying to talk to younger black women who you want to divest. I get it. You want to make sure none of the mammies think that it's okay to come on your panels and you like them and they you know all this stuff. I get it. But what is going to happen is these type of conversations, right? If it's taken in the direction of let me focus on myself, let me live my best life, let me get away from these people, let me get away from this, let me heal myself, let me focus on me, let me not think about dating, then absolutely that life is going to go very well. Okay? That life is going to go very well. All right? But if if it turns into hate this, hate that without doing the therapy and the proper, this is where a lot of women end up being back in the arms of a nig, because the hate is bringing the energy towards them, because these people are not spiritual enough to understand that. Can't be like hate this, hate that, and then turn around and it turns into something else. You can't, I can't say what you can and cannot do. I'm not here to do that. But when you do that, you open the door to bring in the very thing that you say you hate, or the very thing that you don't like, because the universe don't understand that. The universe understands energy. So the energy you put into I hate this is the energy you put into the thing that you say that you hate. The energy you say that you love, you're putting the same energy of hate and love into the same thing. Shit, actually, hate is more intense. So you're going to get more of what it is. That's why universal laws of attraction always say, focus on what it is that you want to focus on, that you want to see more of, what you like more of, what you enjoy more of. Focus on that. And you'll keep, excuse me, and you'll keep getting that. My alarm is going off. This is why I told you that. Focus that. Focus on that. Another thing, I noticed that the generation of millennial and Gen Z, the ones who are out here doing things, are making changes in this world. Okay? They're making changes in this world. They are not only that, they're making changes.
And
Hold on. That is uh how do I say it? You have to just move different spiritually. I can tell you why all these black women that listen to divestors end up going to black males, because there's a deep topic that's not being discussed. Okay. Okay. Um Excuse me, I had saw something I thought was interesting, y'all. I might want to play this video to y'all if I can. Um they're not touching the topics. Trust me, I've gone to places to see, are they going to touch the topics? And you know what I'm talking about. But they're going to touch the topics of the personality of the black woman, which is the alternative black woman who dates outside of her race, and her experience in that relationship. They're going to touch the topic of the black woman who has a hard time not being able to not date the black male, and looking at the phenotype of these women who can't. Are they going to touch the topic of the black woman's relationship with her father and the males in her lifestyle, and what's really going on with her to why she doesn't date white males of another race, right? Or even somebody of a woman for another race? Are we going to touch on that topic? And nobody's touching on that topic. Why? Because nobody's going that deep. That's my point. Nobody's going that deep. I can go that deep. I can go there. But a lot of the people don't go that deep. Because you can't, the topic of nignog, this N word, hard R, this mammy, this and that, that's a mammy, that's a faggot, that's a tranny, that's a this, that's a faggot, that's a this, and all of this kind of shit. You're not considering the women that want to make a change in their lives, but look at what you're doing. No matter how you like to slice the pie, the mammy is very clever. Okay? She's very fucking clever. She's a female with a pussy. That's what she is. She's a female with a pussy. She's very fucking clever. She knows how to infiltrate places very well, and she knows how to steal people out of your space, and she knows how to dox you. She's really fucking good at that. So I understand why they're lashing out. But at the same time, the mammy still knows how to reach inside of people. The black divestor is not doing that. She thinks that she's doing that, but she's not doing that. She's offending everybody in the room. That's not the way to do it. I've been there. I keep my show the way that I keep it. You can't handle money frequency, talking to your money, laws of attraction, 12 laws of human nature. You can keep it moving. It is what it is. You don't want to listen to master teacher Shin Yi. Okay? You can keep it moving. It is okay with me. I am fine. I am fine. Okay? Then on top of that, there are other aspects of everything that comes with the internal work that one must do. Can these women truly go on the other side and date outside of their race? Can they really do it? Can these women be over there and be strong enough to be on the other side of dating someone of another race? Then, what about if these women decide to have children with these men of another race? What about people who get taken off the wheel? That usually happens to black males. It doesn't really happen to black women. But I'm just saying that I don't really hear black women being like, me and my kids got taken off the wheel. It's never that way for them. But it's that way for black males. They get taken off the wheel. What about black women like me that always attract people who date outside their race, but I'm always the black woman that they're with? What is that about? It's all of that. It's like all of these things to touch and tap into and look into. Why does the black woman feel more safe with the black male? So much that even if she dates outside of her race, she goes back to black. Even if she's with the same sex, I've seen the same thing. She goes back to black. Why does she go back to black? Why does she go back to black? Why does she? You have to. It's all these questions. If you want to dig deep, we have to put these kind of conversations on the table for black women. But these people don't go that deep. How can they go deep? They're not spiritual. They're not self-reflective. Look at how they talk, for goodness sake. Look at how they refer to people as N-words with a hard R, and they're probably darker than everybody in this room. Look at how they go in on people's sexuality, but defend the women who don't have children. But I just find it all to be very, very interesting. What are you trying to make the black woman be in society to make her likable to other races? That's coon shit. We should be beyond that shit at this point. And that is my criticism of it all. You feel me? My criticism also stands, my analysis, excuse me, is also, why is this alarm still going off? My analysis is also, what is this true purpose of why? Okay? Because black women who have already had children with a black male, whether American or Caribbean, a black male, period, are already out of the equation. Y'all don't trust us. Okay? I can understand that, but y'all have expressed your extreme hate for young black males, for black boys, period. Because that is the whole entire point of them. 1 second, y'all. The entire point is that's what they don't want born in. Because that's their ultimate goal. They don't want black boys to be born anymore. that's the ultimate goal of what the black divested woman wants. She don't want him born anymore. She don't want him on this planet because black boys turn into black men. They don't want them born anymore. And if you really want to know something else, they don't want the black mammy girl to be born anymore either. They don't want black people born. Period. This is their whole entire fucking agenda. I don't give a fuck how much they claim they love black women. Bullshit. That's their whole entire agenda. And then this is where shout out to you, Cuzzo, comes in, and I agree. Uh, not just Cuzzo, but Mama's Revenge quoted this as well. Mama's Revenge. She'll be coming to the show soon, y'all. By the way, me and her gonna chop it up. But Mama's Revenge was saying like they're talking about the white male getting his dick sucked by the black male, but the white male is still a faggot too. He still got his dick sucked. He's just the top. You know what I mean? He's just not getting penetrated. He's doing the bending. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Good fucking point. So there's the up, down, left, right laws of attraction frequency that they do not see. Let me tell you something. Any black male who was out here spewing hate towards a black woman would not do that towards me. Not because I'm a mammy, but because of the way I look and because of the way I carry myself. I've talked to Tommy Sotomayor directly, and he did not behave like that. His attitude, the conversation, everything about that motherfucker was different. I have sat back and listened to what a lot of black males feel and think, and I don't disagree with it. As far as like I've talked to a lot of black males who are more alternative black males that do not date black women, and their reasons for why. They actually sat down and had that chopped it up with me. And when I tell the black women, and then that's when the mammies come out like, that's so fucking stupid. You think she gonna be? And it's like, no, girl, no, it's really not like that. And they don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe it. I seen a black woman who got a psychic reading. You know, a lot of black women are reading deeply, and she was like, black men are jealous of you, black women. And she went off on her. And I'm like, well, where's the lie? And see, all of this shit, because Jay-Z, males shouldn't be jealous. That's a female trait. That's not true. That's a human being trait. That's a spirit trait. That's a human being trait. Anybody can be jealous. Anybody can be envious. It has nothing to do with gender when it comes to jealousy. Then there is the aspect of there is laws of attraction of who they're going to attract when they go out here and be around people of other races. I mean, there's so much to unpack here. It's so much to unpack. The black woman who's already a divested black woman, which I always say is the black alternative woman, the first divested black woman, she already has a reality about black culture. She has always had the reality of black culture. She has always not wanted to deal. We have always not wanted to deal with anything with black culture. We have always, in the back of our head, regretted being with anybody black or black male, whether opposite or same sex. We have always felt this way. This is a quiet as kept feeling for us. Even Issa Rae wrote on her book that the Asian male and the black woman should be together. We already have this reality. We're not stupid. We're just confused by these newly founded, divested, conservative, divested black women. We're really just confused by that. These very practical doctors and lawyers and all these type of people who are divested. And we're just like, well, wait a minute. This is getting a little extreme. Even we're not this extreme. We may feel these things, but we're not this capacity of extreme. We still understand black people and black culture. We still understand black history. We still understand that if it wasn't for civil rights, or that black woman who was a light-skinned black woman, don't know how much she counts, that married the white man and all this stuff like that, we do consider the doors that are open. Those of us that have pretty privilege and stuff, we do consider who opened these doors for us. We're not that crazy. These people want to N word and a hard R and this and that and faggot, this and that. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You cannot forget where you come from. Whether I even, it don't matter. From here to the Caribbean, my ancestors were enslaved. From up here to the indigenous to the Caribbean, my ancestors were enslaved. We can't deny this unless you know for sure who you come from in your records, and you can say, "Oh, huh, my ancestors were free." That's the leaf blower on my porch. I appreciate that he does that, and he actually gets on my porch and blows the leaves off my porch. Okay, we have to consider that. How are you able to? How are you able to even stand here and talk shit without acknowledging that your ancestors paved that way for you? Unless you know for sure it's your family bloodline that y'all were free slaves for centuries and years, and y'all was in that slave house and y'all were free. Unless y'all know that for years, and I'll shut the fuck up. But other than that, that's what's puzzling to some of us. Like, okay, yeah, what did they just say? And what happens is when you talk like this, it sounds like you're defending the black male. It has nothing to do with that. We're just talking about black people and black culture in general. At the end of the day, the black woman was enslaved with the black male. There's a karmic relationship that the black male and the black woman has together. Honestly, there's a karmic relationship that black, Hispanic, and Latin people have together. Caribbean, which is all the same, have with each other. Whether this black person's in London and you're in America, there's a karmic connection. Whether that black person is in Italy and you're here in fucking Florida, you and that black person have a karmic connection. I have seen this. And when someone told me that black people can't quit each other, that is a very true statement beyond I want to admit. Because there's plenty of black people that be like, I want to date outside my race, and have tried it and have done it. Have tried it, have done it. But to be intellectual, you're going to pick up the foolishness. You don't even have to be in that culture. You're going to pick up the foolishness. And this is unfortunately what I see, is that people come to black people to rebel. They come to black people to do what they can't do in their culture. And that's a reality that I had to see. They come to black people to have a freedom that they can't have in their culture, that they can have with black people, especially the black woman. But you have to be able to tell yourself that truth. I don't know what to say to the black person that's divested in a non-black space, and they're living that non-black lifestyle and they're just comfortable there. Because why do you think Pink Pill did what she did? Pink Pill was missing black people. I know a black woman right now, did deep inside of her, she has this interracial relationship, interracial child. And I'm just speaking what I've analyzed, that deep inside of them, they miss going to the grocery store and being able to dance and without the child feeling embarrassed that mom is dancing in the grocery store. They have a lot of aspects of their black lives that they feel like is being lost within them because people are so different over there. You see what I'm saying? This is why there has to be some kind of extreme hatefulness for blackness or anything that's associated with blackness. And I mean, dancing is not so much associated with blackness. That's a people thing. Do you see what I'm saying? But that was just an example I was giving. And some may argue and say, why are you dancing in the grocery store? Why not? Shit. The music is playing. What is it playing for? Right. So I'm just saying that these are the little different, tiny little things that I personally see. All right. So I might be back. I might not. Okay. I got to go handle some things in my background. Well, no, I give myself about 5 minutes to go handle that. So I got 5 more minutes with me. All right, so these are the things that I also see. I always said this about Pink Pill, that she had missed being around black people. And she even said, don't go into spaces and allow, you know, white people to walk up to you and say, "Hey girl," and all that kind of shit. I hate that shit. I don't respond to it. I don't respond to that. I had a manager do that to me, and I didn't speak back. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I think people know not to do stuff like that to me. I mean, I put an energy out there so people know not to play with me like that. So there is a missing of black people, and so therefore this is another topic that should be discussed. What's going on with being in blackness, that when you get away from quote unquote blackness, right, that being around people of other cultures, these people want to go back to their blackness. See, so then you have to then touch on, is everything so bad about black culture? Do you understand that there are people who live a certain type of way and that's all they know? It's not even personal. Literally, I have been around enough people to tell you it's not even personal. It's how they are. I have met some hood ass people, but cool as fuck. Okay? Hood, but cool as fuck. Okay? Because being hood or knowing that hood life is all that they know. And that's just how they are. That's just how they talk. That's just how they move. But they cool as fuck. Anybody can get along with them, right? Then I met people who don't really come from that life and they want to talk that tough shit, and they're the worst fucking people. And they don't come from that lifestyle, right? So you have these different interesting dynamics of things. Or you have people that may come from the hood, but they may have, I noticed that people who come from the hood that lived in a house, they tend to be a little bit more bourgeois, a little bit more mean, a little bit more nasty, a little bit more bullying to people as well. Versus if someone lived in the hood and they grew up in a project, or they grew up in an apartment complex, or trailer or something like that, versus someone who grew up in an actual house. I can see the difference, right? But that's just me. I can identify that. Now, why am I talking about that? This is the same with the black divested woman. It's like you have the divested black woman who has grown up suburban, and she doesn't know shooting outside. She doesn't know fights outside her window. She doesn't know project hallway fights, right? I know, I just, all the fighting. I know. She doesn't know that lifestyle. She doesn't know, if you take your kids to the school, your children are going to have to fight. You're going to have to teach them how to box. She doesn't know that life. And that's beautiful that she doesn't know it. But the thing is, she will be a little bit more haughty, as they say. I don't know where I got that word from. Or a little bit more, you know, with her chest out about the way she lives her life and the choices she made and this, that, and the third, because she does not know. You have to meet the black divested woman where she's at. If you're touching on, if she's not a black alternative woman, if you're touching into the hood black alternative black woman, you're touching into a whole nother space of a woman. Do you get what I'm saying? You're touching into a space that is going to be you you have to probably have some therapy skills in order to reach into her, because she has come, and depending on her phenotype and what she looks like and what she comes from in that black culture, you got to understand that a lot of them have seen themselves to be very protected by black males. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them have gotten respect, because again, it goes into phenotype as well. A lot of them will not leave the black male because of their loyalty to him. You see what I'm saying? Um, I had noticed this through my last experience, and I was like, these two dark skinned women are the typical chicks that these niggas send to beat up black women like me. I had to see that. I was like, these are the typical dark skinned women that is always up under some light skinned pretty girl as her friend because she knows that that's how she gets Mel's attentions, right? I had to start saying these things out loud to myself, like, we're not the same. This is you're that dark skinned girl in the hood that's helping these niggas tease someone like me in my metal shirt and my fucking pants and shit like that and my platform shoes. Like I had to wake up to that reality. So you're touching on multiplicity of things when you are talking to these divested black women and you meeting them where they are. And this is why they say they have like fence sitters and this, that, and the third, and why y'all here, and because y'all not touching them. See what I'm saying? Y'all not reaching inside of them to understand. If she's a fence sitter, she knows that something there is not right. But how does she know that there's a lot of women, hold on, they rather deal with bullshit with what they know than bullshit that is unfamiliar. Okay? You get what